Good evening. This is Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Hotel. My name is Brian, and I'm your controller tonight for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. VE3XBH, is anybody hearing this?
VE3XBH, VE3HES. Hey, Brian. Yeah, something's gone really strange there with Echolink. I heard Reg a second ago, and all of a sudden it's just this dead carrier with that noise in the background.
Okay, Mark. So I guess that's Echolink then. I'm wondering if maybe we should disconnect and reconnect.
QSL, I think that's a great idea.
This is VE3XBH. Stand by for a minute, please, and we're going to see if we can solve this noise problem here.
DECHLINK conference disconnected.
VA3HES, VE3XBH. Yeah, Mark, I can still hear it on Echolink, so I'm guessing that somebody is still connected.
And looks like something's been timed out on the conference.
VE3MIS
VE3XBH, the group, I think Mark's in there too, VA3HES. Seems like there's someone in the Echolink group who might be causing the noise. It might be VH3WM. Over to you, Brian, VHA today, VE3XBH.
3A today, VE3XBH. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Brian. Maybe we can, I'll put a text up and see. Stand by.
Roger. I think Reg has got a message up there too. But it looks like it's John's station.
Yeah, Brian, go ahead, VE3XBH.
Brian, I sent him an email. We'll see what happens.
I also see that HJQ is there, so we'll see if he can do it. So I think what I'll probably do is start the net, and then maybe we can... are you monitoring Echolink?
Oh, Roger. Yeah, well, I got the screen up here. I've got the headset on yet. The noise is still there, coming from VE3.net. So, but I'm watching it definitely on the screen once again.
So maybe what I'll do is I'll start the net, and then if we see it disappear, then oh, it looks like it's disappeared. Okay, I think we're in good shape now. Stand by. Okay, this is VE3XVH. Looks like we have our problem solved, so we'll begin the net. I apologize for being a little bit late this evening, but we had some technical problems and seem to be okay now. So we'll start off. This is Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Hotel. My name is Brian, and I'm your controller tonight for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. This net is available on the club's VHF repeater and Echolink between 20:30 hours and approximately 21:45 hours local time in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. To participate in the net on the VE3MIS VHF repeater, tune to 145.430 megahertz with a negative 600 kilohertz offset and a 103.5 hertz tone. To participate on Echolink, connect to the TechLink conference, node number 9229. If you would like to find out more about the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club, please visit our website at www.ve3mis.ca. That's Victor Echo 3, Mike India Sierra, Charlie Alpha. Our email address is ve3mis@rac.ca. That's Victor Echo 3, Mike India Sierra, at Romeo Alpha Charlie, Charlie Alpha. The purpose of this net is to pass news and views along to members and visitors of the club. It also provides experience to volunteer operators in net and emergency operating procedures. All check-ins are welcome, and we especially invite non-members to join in. And due to the latest COVID restrictions, the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club will be meeting virtually via Zoom conferencing software on the second and fourth Thursday of each month. Our meetings emphasize comradeship and learning and are open to guests and visitors. Please see our website to learn how to join virtual meetings. Non-members who wish to attend should email ve3mis@rac.ca to obtain instructions for virtual admission. And before we start the net, I just have an announcement that there is a meeting this Thursday. It begins at 7:30, and it will be a virtual meeting via Zoom. So that's this Thursday at 7:30, our local time here in Mississauga, and that's a Zoom meeting. The net will be conducted in 2 rounds, a check-in round and a 7-3 round. During the check-in round, check-ins will be called in 2 broad groups of traffic: short-time check-ins and general check-ins. Emergency check-ins will be taken at any time. Sometimes mobile, Echolink, and RF check-ins may be called by themselves to reduce the risk of doubling. Please listen carefully and check in with the group that best matches your circumstances. Finally, avoid transmitting more than 1 minute without dropping to prevent system timeouts. Again, your controller for tonight's net is Brian. My call sign is VE3XBH. When checking in, please announce your call sign using phonetics, followed by your first name. Okay, and to begin the net this evening, we'll start with short-time check-ins. That means if you're in a rush or you cannot check in later, please come now. Short-time check-ins.
VK3HJQ, good afternoon, Brian. I'll be in and out.
Kilo Foxtrot 5, Hotel Golf Uniform, Bob, North Central Texas. I'm going to be short time this evening, Brian, but I'd like to get it.
Okay, I heard 2 check-ins there. I heard KF5HGU, Bob, in there, and VK3HJQ, John. So, John, you're at the top of the list for short time. Come on in.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Robert can give you the COVID update. I don't know what the figures are for today. Yeah, so with that person keying up there, I was on the ham conference and Robert muted ham, which solves the problem with the transmitters and TechLink, but doesn't solve the TechLink problem. So I come over here and disconnected the offending station. Can't remember what the safety call sign was now, but anyway, whatever. Yeah, that's why you've got to have somebody in control, don't you? What's the report? Beautiful day down here today. Really, really, really nice. After all the rain we had, thunderstorms, lightning. So I'm just waiting for the backyard to dry so I can actually go smoke the grass. Anyway, thanks for the net. Always like listening in. Back to net control, VK3HJQ.
VK3HJQ, VE3XBH. Okay, John. Well, thanks for all your help with that. We got it solved, so that's the main thing, and everybody's hearing us. And thanks again. And geez, you're making us jealous with having nice weather when we're in the deep freeze at the moment. So thanks again, John, for joining us this evening. Okay, with that, let's go to Bob in Mesquite, Texas. KF5HGU. Bob, come on in.
Now, good evening, Brian. VE3XBH, KF5HGU. Well, I'm going to get in here this evening. Y'all were in my local news, or the news here. They were talking about COVID and how things seemed like on the decline in Canada. Even to the point that they suggested people not take a trip to Canada right now. So it'll all get better eventually. Just not too sure how long it'll take to do that. I'm going to be short time on it, but I did want to get in and at least say hi and listen along to what's been going on with you guys up there. That's it. Take care, my friend. VA3XBH, KF5HG, 733.
KF5HGU, VE3XBH. Okay, Bob, always good to hear you. We're always nice to hear what's going on in Texas. And yeah, our numbers our COVID numbers have been getting up there, so we're kind of Well, depending upon who you talk to, some people say it's going to peak in the next couple of weeks. Some people say it's going to be a little bit longer. So we're just, I guess, kind of playing it by ear and seeing what we can do. But let's hope that we can get over this in the very near future. Bob, thanks again for joining us, and I'm sure we'll be talking again later on. Okay, with that, we'll go to general check-ins now, and I guess we'll start with RF. Are there any general check-ins on RF? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Bravo Foxtrot Barry, over.
Victor Alpha 3 Hotel Echo Sierra, Mark in Mississauga.
Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Yankee Delta, Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Yankee Delta, Peter.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Delta Yankee, Kevin.
Okay, I heard 5 stations in there. I'll just go through them. I heard VA3KDY, VE3WYD, VA3HES, VE3JMY, and VA3WBF. I guess what we'll do is we'll take any check-ins from Echolink. Any Echolink check-ins? General check-ins coming out, please.
Net Control, please copy Victor Kilo 6, Bravo, Quebec, Quebec, Reg, Western Australia. Good morning. CCUA2, Delta Yankee, W.
Okay, and I got 2 Echolink check-ins. I got KD2DY Robert and VK6BQQ Reg. So stand by, everyone. We'll go to the top of the list, and VE3WBF Barry, come on in.
VE3XBH and the net, this is VE3WBF. This is my, today, early in the morning, was my first online lecture and lab for my students in the course. And it was interesting. I tried something new. I did I taped the lectures and just had roundtable sessions at the end of each video. Over.
VE3WBF, VE3XBH. Okay, Barry, that sounds good. So trying something a little different. How did it go?
Can't tell. They're a little quiet bunch, but I did get a couple of thumbs up on doing these quick quizzes in between, and that seemed to at least excite a few people anyway. But it's better than me yammering on over some slides, which I've got a video that combines videos and slides, so it makes it easier with the videos done. Over.
Roger, Barry. Well, that sounds good. Glad it all worked out for you. Do you have anything else for the next?
Nothing more. Just a note that I was tuning the dials on Sunday, and I sat on the VHF calling frequency, And it's very, very quiet, but there are people there that are actually call those C2s, and I've made at least one contact. And but it's been very quiet. People should actually get on that frequency and make more contacts. Over.
Oh, well, that's good. I do monitor it occasionally, and occasionally I do hear someone in there, but not very often. And I guess, to be quite honest, I don't listen on the calling frequency enough. I usually listen on the repeater, so I guess it's worthwhile to check the calling frequency once in a while and see. You might meet somebody new.
Amateur Radio Repeater VE3MIS.
Barry, will you be around for the second round?
I'll try to stay awake for that. Back to the net.
Okay, Barry, we'll give you a shout then on the second round, and thanks again for checking in with us. So the next one is VE3JMY. Murray, come on in, Murray.
3XPH, VE3JMY in the group. Good evening, Brian, and good day to one and all. Deep freeze indeed, and cutting the grass down under sounds really attractive. I'm sort of counting the days from March, and might be clear of most of our winter weather. The grass is still pretty green when you get to see it. Happy New Year to all, and don't think I'll be around for the second go-round. We're doing virtual grade 3 in the living room with grandson, and the days are a little bit long, but good to hear you, Brian. Thanks for the net, 7-3.
VE3JMY, VE3XBH. Okay, Murray, thanks for checking in with us, and good to hear you in there again. And yeah, I guess with the virtual learning, it makes for a long day. Kind of tiring, I guess. But Murray, thanks again for checking in, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. Okay, let's go to Mark, VA3HES. Mark, Mark is also our YouTube master control operator, and Mark, thanks again for the live stream. I did neglect to mention that it is being streamed live on YouTube, so maybe Mark, if you want to give out some details on that, I'll send it back to you. VA3HES from VE3XPH.
VE3XBH and Group VA3HES. Good evening, Brian and all on net. Victor Alpha 3 Hotel Echo Sierra, Mark in Mississauga. We are live on YouTube. I see a bunch of people are watching. And a message to Peter, VE3WID. He says, hi, Mark. I seem to pick up static on my radio, but I got through to the net. Is anyone else experiencing static? Well, our audio feed from YouTube is coming off this very radio you see on the screen, so it's over RF. So maybe just double check your tone settings and make sure you're not on reverse. Not much much else going on around here. We are preparing for the upcoming ARRL VHF contest this weekend, and I've been sitting here in the shack soldering some various microphone adapters and bits and pieces, and trying to avoid going outside as much as possible. That's all for now, Brian. And oh yeah, don't forget, folks, if you want to check out how your audio sounded on the net, just go to YouTube and search for VE3MIS. You'll see the Tuesday night net live stream folder, and all past live streams are archived. Okay, back to you, Brian.
VA3HES, VE3XBH. Okay, Mark, sounds good. Thanks again for the live stream and for all you do for us, and yeah, staying inside. It's best to stay on the warm side of the glass. I think these past couple of days have been pretty chilly out there, so I certainly can't blame you. We've been doing the same, and you know, we don't see any of the neighbors around, so everybody seems to hibernate in this kind of weather. Mark, thanks again, and I'll give you a shout on the second round. Okay, with that, let's go to VE3WYD. Peter, come on in.
Hello, Brian, and everyone else on net. This is VE3WYD, Peter. Everything is good with regards to COVID. Nobody's sick. A few people at work got it, but they were self-isolating and staying out of our way, keeping healthy. Hopefully my signal's getting through this week. Put a new antenna line. Back to you.
VE3WYD, VE3XBH. Well, no problem hearing you, Peter, so whatever you did seems to be working. So certainly no problem there. Do you have anything else for the net, Peter?
No, I'll just stand by here and keep monitoring. I'll stay around for 73 round and for a second round, and I'll keep monitoring. Sometimes the radio's fading in and out. I'm just checking things here at my end. Back to you.
Okay, Peter, sounds good. I did check you on direct coming to me. You're about 5 by 5 to me. A little bit of noise in the background, but nothing severe. Certainly no problem copying you. So on direct, still had a pretty good signal from you. Peter, thanks again, and we'll give you a shout on the 7-3. Okay, with that, let's go to Kevin, VA3KDY. Come on in, Kevin.
VA3KDY, back to you, Brian. It's good to hear you in there, and hello to everybody on the net. I just stopped by to say hello. I enjoyed doing that, and wish I could stay later, but unfortunately, at this time I cannot. So I've got nothing new to add. Just hello, and we'll catch you down the line, I guess.
VA3KDY, VE3XBH. Okay, Kevin, thanks for checking in. It's always good to hear from you, and by all means, you're always welcome to check in and say hi, and stay warm and stay safe, and we'll be talking to you again soon, I'm sure. Okay, with that, let's go to Western Australia and say hi to Reg, VK6BQQ. Come on in, Reg.
VE3XBH in the group, VK6BQQ. Well, good evening to you and all on frequency and the net and the conferences. My goodness, we're on Echolink. Yeah, this Zoom thing seems to be the way to do things nowadays. We had a bit of a scare here. We were getting a bunch of folks together to go to a coffatorium at one of the plazas, and we had some breakouts with this virus thing, so everybody got paranoid, and now we're going to have a Zoom meeting, apparently. So we'll see how it all works out. But in reference to our adventure in March coming up, our GB80 LAN and VK80 LAN. Now we got the VE380 LAN call sign, so it's a special event that's going to be taking place in March in memory of the sortie of the Lancaster bomber. As you know, we've got one in Hamilton flying, and there are a couple over in England. Only one flies, but the other one taxis, so it's getting airborne sort of thing. But yeah, everything's coming along fine. We're well here at the QTH, so I guess nothing else to report at this time. But if you like QRZ.com, VK6BQQ, there's a website there and a lot of information that's happening for our event coming up in March. So do join us.
Back to net. VK6BQQ, good morning.
VK6BQQ, VE3XBH. Okay, Reg, well, that's good news to hear that we got a VE3 call sign in there. So we got three stations going. That sounds great, and always good to hear. So sounds like March is going to be an interesting month, and hopefully everything works out well with the COVID situation down there, and Zoom certainly does come in handy for these situations. So, Reg, thanks for checking in with us, and I'll give you a shout on the 7-3 round. I should mention while I'm here that Reg hosts the Friday Tech Link and the Flying Pig Net on it's carried on this repeater and also on the TechLink conference, and that's every Friday, and it's 8 o'clock our local time, from 8 until 10, and Reg is the host. So if you're available, check in and say hi to Reg. Reg, thanks again, and we'll give you a shout on the 7-3 round. Okay, with that, let's go to Robert, KD2DY. Robert, come on in.
Good afternoon. This is Robert, Victor Kilo 2, Delta Yankee in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales, but all part of the urban sprawl that is Sydney. 25.3 degrees. It came down from 29 earlier. I think we're about to get hit by some rain. So the weather's cooled down a little bit, and it's overcast. Managed to get the lawn mowed this morning before they're predicting rain for the next a week or so, so I thought I'd better go out and mow the lawn. So I did that this morning, and that's done now. So that should last at least a week. Anyway, other than that, COVID cases are 34,000 and change here in New South Wales. We were doing so well up until Omicron, and now I think we've lost it. It's just going everywhere, and I guess we're just going to have to ride it out. But at any rate, 35,000, 21 deaths today as well, which is a record, an unfortunate record. So hopefully we get through this, and it is truly COVID burning itself out. We try to keep optimistic about this, I guess. VK2DY, back to net.
VK2DY, VE3XBH. Okay, well, Robert, we're sitting at about -6 right now, and if we get any precipitation, it's going to be that awful white stuff that we don't really like to talk about. So you're making us all jealous. But yeah, it looks like the Omicron variant is really kind of doing a number on everybody. But let's hope that this is part of the end of this whole thing, and we can get back to some form of normalcy. You're going to be around for the second round, Robert?
Sure, maybe VK2DY.
Okay, Robert. Well, thanks for checking in with us, and we'll give you a shout. And if you're there, great. Thanks again for checking in, for everything you do for us. And with that, we're at the bottom of the list, so we'll just make a general call for anybody, whether it be Echolink or RF, just a general check-in. Please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Alpha Zulu Alpha, Brian in Mississauga.
Victor Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, Gary in Toronto.
Kilo India 5, Romeo Foxtrot India, KI5 RFI, Mac in Springdale, Arkansas.
Okay, I heard 3 stations in there at that time. KI5 RFI, VA3 GDZ, and VA3 AZA. Brian, you're at the top of the list. Come on in, Brian.
VE3 XBH, this is VA3 AZA. And good evening, Brian. Thanks very much for doing the net tonight, and good evening to all those who are participating as well. Not too much to report. It's pretty cold. A lot of Arctic air, I guess, coming through. And well, I guess I was out today for a little bit. And it was pretty cold, but I don't know how long it'll last. We'll see. I think I was there the moment it arrived. I was down by the lake, and the transition over a period of a few minutes was pretty profound from something somewhat seasonably warm to very cold Arctic air. Around, I don't know, 3 o'clock, 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. Anyway, we'll pass it back to you, Brian. VA3 AZA over to VE3 XBH net control.
VA3 AZA, VE3 XBH. Okay, Brian, and thanks for checking in with us. And yeah, the cold front comes in. Sometimes it can come in pretty quick, and and you really notice the temperature drop. So you're a lot braver than me for being out there while it's happening. So, but sometimes you can't predict it, I guess. But okay, Brian, thanks for checking in, and we'll give you a shout on the 7-3. Okay, with that, let's go to Gary, VA3 GDZ. Gary, come on in.
Good evening there, Brian, and hi to all the gang this evening. I was having trouble on Echolink earlier. I know it was late getting in, but I was getting timed out coming in through Ham or TechLink conference. I was able to get in through Rockham. They're not connected now, but they were. Rochester Ham. Anyways, coming in on RF. Yeah, you know things are getting serious when your big excitement of the week is going to the grocery store. Hi. It's beginning to look like Groundhog Day here with most things closed. Of course, schools are supposed to open next week. A lot of debate about that. And it is getting hazardous, too, because my XYL is finding more jobs for me to do. Now she's after me to clean out the basement. So this is getting pretty serious. And in terms of the COVID cases, yeah, Australia's got a very rapidly increasing rate there. And a lot of people are saying you're going to get it one of these days regardless. Close friend, triple vaccinated, double masked. She still picked it up over the holiday period and didn't really get together. But by the time she got her results back, because there was a delay in getting the shots processed, finding out she was positive, she was feeling better. So as long as you're well vaccinated, you may feel ill for a few days, but you should come out okay on the other end. Pass it back to you, Brian. This is Gary, Victor Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, west end of Toronto.
VA3 GDZ, VE3 XBH. Okay, Gary, well, all good there. And yeah, there's always something to do around the house. So if you can't get out, there's always something going on, I'm sure. So, but especially in the cold weather, you don't want to be doing anything outside. So, like antenna work or anything like that. But Gary, thanks for checking in with us. And yeah, a lot of people are saying that there's a very good likelihood that you're gonna get it, although the more vaccinated you are, the milder the symptoms are going to be. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but let's hope as few people get it as possible. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of discussion about the kids going back to school, and also about the delays in getting results. So I guess we'll just have to kind of wait this thing out and see what happens. Gary, thanks again, and we'll give you a shout on the second round. Okay, with that, let's go to KI5 RFI, and I believe it was Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
This is KI5RFI. The name here is Mac, M-A-C-K, like a big truck. Everything's going good here. I say it's going good. We're all, in Arkansas here, we're also having a big spike in the Omicron virus. They're warning everybody to kind of double up on taking it easy and staying apart and masking up and all that kind of stuff. But we are having a pretty big spike in the numbers here in northwest Arkansas. So far, schools are still going and in session, but they're even talking about maybe some virtual learning in some of those. We'll see what happens on it. So far here, we're doing all right. Got some snowy weather coming on Friday again, so we're kind of back and forth. Have a few days of good weather, then a few days of bad weather. It's just up and down. Back to net control. This is KI5RFI.
KI5RFI VE3XBH. Okay, Mark. Well, yeah, I guess this is the time of year when the weather's up and down, so not much. You know, everybody complains about it, but nobody does anything about it. So that's what they say, anyways. But yeah, the spike in this is. I think you know, it looks like it's hitting everybody, so we'll just have to do our best, I guess. Are you going to be around for the 7-3 round?
Negative on that. I probably got some other stuff I got to get done, but I appreciate checking in, and you guys have a good evening. KI5RFI, Mac in Springdale.
KI5RFI VE3XBH. Okay, Matt. I was calling you Mark. And it's Matt. Is that correct? It's Matt?
Yeah, that's correct. It's Mac, like a Mack truck. M-A-C-K. Back to you.
Okay, Roger, Mac. I got it there that time for sure. Mac, thanks for checking in with us, and by all means, check in again with us. Thanks again for everything this evening. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if there's anybody else that would like to check into the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. Come now, please.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Mike, John in Niagara.
VA3WM, VE3XBH. John, come on in. John, how are you this evening?
V3XBH from the Mississauga Net. This is John, Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Mike. Well, it's chilly here in Niagara, but interestingly enough, I was awakened this morning by a tractor in the vineyard behind me. And I tell you, when you're in farming and you're into it in a very serious way, you have all the toys to make your life easier. So this fellow had mounted on the front of his tractor a giant weed whacker, and he was driving up and down the rows of the vineyard trimming the vines. And of course, because it's so cold, they're nice and icy and they snap easily. So that was a sight for today. And my apologies for disrupting the net at the beginning. My IRLP node is a little sick, and I have to give it some attention tomorrow. And I did get my booster on Saturday. Observation that all the seats weren't quite full. And I think that may be because Monsieur Health didn't send out reminders to people, at least we didn't get them, that they had an appointment for a booster shot. Second observation, we had a local clinic and our family health team, and today they sent out an email message saying, you know, come get your shot, spot is still available. Communication, communication, communication. can never be enough of it. Back to you, Brian. VA3WM.
VA3WM, VE3XBH. Okay, John. Well, geez, that giant weed whacker is kind of a neat idea, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure in the cold weather it really makes a crisp sound. So lets you know how cold it is outside, and all good on the vaccination. And you know, it's kind of funny because some places are reporting that there's spaces, and then yet other places people are standing in line for hours and hours. So I think you hit it on the head, John, with communication. Get the word out and let people know what's going on and what's available and where, and in a timely manner. And I think that's probably the best. John, thanks for checking in. I guess you're going to be around for the 7-3?
I will be, Brian. Back to you, VA3WM.
Okay, John, thanks again. And with that, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else who'd like to check into the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? Come now, please.
VA3PLJ.
Okay, I heard a VA3 station in there, and I didn't quite get the rest of the call. If you could come on in and give us your name and your call again, please.
It's VA3PLJ, and the station here in Etobicoke. Is this a repeater of what's linked up with the 145 430?
Okay, I heard VA3, and I think it was XBR, and that's about all I got. I can hear in there. I just didn't quite catch what you said. So if you could try it again, and I'll see if I can pull it out.
Oh, it's VA3PLJ.
Okay, I got VA3PLJ. Okay, got that. Go ahead, please.
VE3MIS.
Good evening, everybody. Unfortunately, not too much to report. I was just wondering if this repeater was linked up with the 145 430 on the 2-meter side.
Okay, got you in there now. Sorry, PLJ. And you're coming in on the VA3 RCI repeater, is that correct?
I'm not sure what the call is, but 444.800.
Yeah, that's the VA3 RCI repeater. Okay, that sounds great. Do you have anything for the net?
Not much going on. I'm just net hopping. But anyway, I'll be around for the back to net control.
VA3 PLJ, VE3XBH. Okay, well, thanks for checking in with us, and always welcome to check in. We're here every Tuesday night on the Mississauga repeater, and also on TechLink, and whoever else may be connected. Tonight we have the A3 RCI repeater connected also. So thanks again for checking in. Okay, with that, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else that'd like to check in? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard there, so I guess we'll go to the top of the list and start the 7-3 round. Let's see, at the top of the list we had VK3HJQ said he wouldn't be here, and KF5HGU Bob also said he wouldn't be here, and I don't see him on the on Echolink there, so we'll go to Barry, VE3WBF. Barry, come on in.
VE3XBH, this is VE3WBF. Somebody mentioned it was -6. Well, this afternoon it was somewhere in the neighborhood of -17. So I got the big coat out and got my long johns on, and my wife and I went for a nice walk. One, to mail some letters, and two, just to wander the neighborhood. And I was quite warm and comfortable, except for the face, which was pretty much exposed. So all in all, it was a good day. Over.
Well, that sounds good, Barry. You're much braver than I am for sure, but certainly if you have the right stuff for it, the right equipment and clothing, then you can certainly stay warm in this kind of weather. Unfortunately, I don't have that much that'll keep me that warm very long, but that's great that you got out and it was enjoyable, so all good. Anything else, Barry?
Well, I lived in Whitehorse for a time, and so I've got all the gear pretty much, and that helps, but I don't use it very often, so the minute it goes cold, I get the stuff out, go for a walk. Over.
Well, that's great that you have it, and so these temperatures are nothing new to you then, I guess.
Actually, it's interesting when you get up to, when it comes to spring and summer, it's up into the plus 18, and maybe even touching 20, you're in your shirt sleeves. We're down here, everybody's got a sweater on. Over.
Yeah, I guess so. Big difference, and we're used to it being a little bit warmer, so we feel the cold more than the hot, I guess. But okay, Barry, thanks for checking in. Anything else before I move on?
Nothing else. This is VE3WBF. Back to the net. Over.
VE3WBF, VE3XBH. Okay, Barry, thanks for checking in with us this week, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. Okay, next I had was Murray. Murray said he wouldn't be around for the 7-3, so let's go to Mark, VA3ATS. Mark, any last words for the net?
VE3XBH and net, VA3HES returning. Well, one thing I will mention is I have a New Year's resolution that may actually be somewhat attainable for at least for an amateur operator. I'm trying to call CQ on the FM calling frequency whenever I'm in the car instead of just poking around the repeaters. And I've had a bunch of interesting little QSOs over the last 10 days or so. Pretty much every day I at least make one. So. That ID 5100 I have in the car has this wonderful voice keying function. So, it takes all of 10 seconds to program your voice in there to call CQ, and it's pretty easy just to poke the button while you're driving, and you'd be surprised how many people are listening. 7-3, everyone. Thanks for hosting the net, Brian, and catch you all again next Tuesday. Back to you.
VA3ATS, VE3XBH. Okay, Mark, well, that sounds good. Glad to hear that there is some activity there, and like I say, I tend to poke around on the repeater too much, and maybe should try the calling channel a little bit more often than I do. Good New Year's resolution, and it's a pretty easy one to do. So thanks again for that, Mark, and thanks again for the live stream and everything, and all good, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. Okay, with that, let's go to Peter, VE3WYD. Go ahead, Peter. Anything else for the net? VE3WYD, VE3XBH. Peter, anything else? Okay, I guess Peter has gone for the evening. Next was Kevin. Kevin said that he wouldn't be around for 7-3. So VK6 BQQ, Reg. Anything for the 7-3 round, Reg? Go ahead.
Yeah, VE3 XBH in the group, VK6 BQQ. Well, not a whole lot. We're just on a few emails here with our folks that are involved with our project, and they've come up with a nice QSL card that's going to be for those folks that check in and want one. So lots on the go. It looks like we've got Zoom set up here for 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we're hoping to get our folks in from the UK and whatnot. So we'll see how it all works out, but yeah, things are on the move. Other than that, things are good here. As I say, I haven't seen any bulletins up on our virus situation here, but it seems to be under control. No news is good news. Back to net. Good to hear you in here. Good net, Brian. 7-3, VK6BQQ.
VK6BQQ, VE3XBH. Okay, Reg, always good to hear from you. Thanks again for checking in with us and for giving us all that information about the LANC project in March. So that sounds great. Sounds like everything's coming along really nice, and I'm sure you'll be giving us some more information on Friday during the net. So, Reg, thanks again for checking in with us, and we'll be talking to you probably on Friday, I would think. Okay, with that, let's go to Robert, KD2DY. Robert, anything else for the net? Okay, I don't see Robert on the list, so I guess Robert's gone. So we'll move on down to Brian, VA3AZA. Brian, anything for the 7-3 round?
VE3XBH, VA3AZA, returning. Brian, no, not too much. Just hope everyone has a good week, but I'd like to have to thank Mark, too, because he mentioned a feature on the 5100. I didn't really know about that feature, about the stored CQ call, so I'll have to go and check the manual, but I have a feeling I have to install some. I may not have installed the chip on it for voice memory, but anyway, I'll have to go take a look. That's everything, Brian. Thanks again for doing the net, and hope you have a good week. We'll talk to you again soon. VA3AZA, over to net control.
VA3AZA, VE3XBH. Okay, Brian, sounds good, and thanks again for checking in with us, and I'm sure we'll be talking again very soon. Okay, with that, let's go to Gary, VA3GDZ. Gary, anything else for the net?
Thanks there, Brian. I switched over to Echolink to see how it comes in. I'll listen on YouTube later on compared to RF. Yeah, I do have a real-life story to share with you guys to end it off. Everybody's doing video chats, and we have a friend who lives
Oh, she's about an hour north of Ottawa, so she's well up there. Had a lot of wildlife that she tells us about and sends us pictures. So we were recently doing a video chat with her, and we heard a tapping on the call, and we said, gee, there might be something wrong with your connection. She says, no, I hear it too. Hang on a sec, I'll go check. And she opened the blinds into her room, and in her yard, just outside her window, was a group of wild turkeys. And one or two of them were tapping on the window because they saw their reflection. So she came running back to tell us, it's a group of wild turkeys. What do you think? And so, of course, I said, are you sure maybe you shouldn't think about calling the police? Because it looks like you have some peeping toms. Anyways, that's my story for today. 7-3, thanks for taking the net there, Brian. This is Victor Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, Gary in Toronto.
3 GDZ VE3XBH. Oh, Gary, that's a groaner for sure. But that is kind of interesting, though. Wild turkeys poking at the window. So I guess they want to get warm too. But Gary, thanks again for checking in with us, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. So let's go to KI5 RFI, Mark. I don't think Mark said he was going to be there, but let's see if he's still there. Mark, go ahead if you're there. Hey, nothing heard from Mark, so let's see who we got. John, VA3WM. John, anything else for the net this evening? Go ahead, John.
Well, Gary, that was a fine turkey story. We have turkeys in our backyard too, but they don't come up close to the house. But I guess we don't have any windows at their level. And I'm certainly not putting any benches up so they could get a better view into the kitchen, you know what I mean. But that was a good story. Anyways, Brian, everything is good here. One thing I will mention, just it's a piece of information that people may or may not know, but once you've received your third shot or any shot of the vaccine, it takes about 2 weeks for it to take effect. And I think what may be happening is people get the vaccine and figure they may be home, it may be clear to go, but it takes 2 weeks for it to become effective. So just sharing that with the group. VE3XBH, VA3WM.
VA3WM, VE3XBH. Okay, John, thanks for that info. And yeah, that's good information to know that, you know, I think you're right. I think people, they get their third shot and they figure, okay, we're good. But it does take time for the body to build up the protection. So that's something that you need to take into account for. And 2 weeks seems to be what they say it is. John, thanks again for checking in with us. And while I got John, you just reminded me that tomorrow at 11 o'clock, again our local time, the Trans-Canada IRLP net is also carried on this repeater, and John hosts the net for the Ontario portion of the net. The net starts in British Columbia and travels right across the country. And John takes care of hosting the net for the Ontario portion. So that begins tomorrow at 11 o'clock our time. John, thanks again for checking in. Okay, and the only other one I had was VA3PLJ. Come on in. Do you have anything else for the net? Okay, nothing heard from VA3PLJ. So, I'll make one last call for any last-minute check-ins to the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday night. So any last-minute check-in, please come now. I just heard the noise during the key-up. Can you try it again? We'll see if we can get you. I heard a VA3 in there. I didn't quite catch what the rest of it was. Can you try it again?
Amateur.
Victor Echo 3, Sugar, Sugar Radio. Victor Echo 3, Sugar, Sugar Radio.
Hey, got it that time. Victor Echo 3, Sugar, Sugar Radio. Come on in, and can I get your name, please?
My name is Eugene, located in Thornhill. Just running 10 watts and from Thornhill. It's quite a long distance, and I'm just checking my new antenna. I got the vertical diamond antenna, and well, I'm quite happy that you managed to copy me. This is through Victor Echo 3, Sierra Romeo, over.
Okay, Eugene, got you in there, VE3 SSR, and you're making it into the repeater. It's a little bit on the noisy side, but certainly you are making it, so no problem copying you now.
What is the scheduler of VE3MIS? How often it happens, over?
This is the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday net. It happens every Tuesday night. It's on this repeater. It's also carried on Echolink, and it begins at 8:30 local time here.
Very good. Thanks a lot for the information. I'm trying to join this net. So since I have a quite efficient antenna, and I need to connect the amplifier as well. No more traffic. Thanks a lot, 73, and Mike back to net control.
VE3 SSR, VE3 XBH. Okay, Eugene, thanks again for checking in with us, and by all means, please check in again. Like I say, we're here every Tuesday night. We have a different controller every night that we rotate through, but by all means, you're more than welcome to check in. Thanks again for checking in this evening. Okay, with that, I'll make one last call for any last-minute check-ins. Anyone who'd like to check in last minute, come now, please. Okay, nothing heard there, so I guess we'll close the net for this evening. I would like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. If you have any comments, thoughts, or suggestions, you can contact us via email at VE3MIS@RAC.ca. That's Victor Echo 3, Mike India Sierra at RomeoAlphaCharlie.CharlieAlpha. This is Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Bravo Hotel closing the net and returning the repeater to general use. Thank you all for your participation. 7-3, and stay safe, everyone.